Okay, right, we should be live. Hello to everyone watching on the stream replay. If you hear us, well, at the top of the hour, you know what I mean. Welcome to the stream regardless. Today is what I'm hoping is going to be the final day of Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. The last time we got through, what, something like 5 of 7 worlds within 2 hours, so I'm pretty confident we can see this through. There being no roadblocks, but the game's given us a big old world map. There's nowhere else on that road map for us to go, so it seems like we're going to get there quite quickly. So hence the slightly later stream today. I thought there was no point going live at an earlier time, but probably end up finishing around the same time, as I would normally aim to finish these streams anyway. But yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say. I've been listening to this home menu music while trying to set this up for like 15 minutes, so I'm desperate to listen to something else, so let's jump into the game. Let me move my... There we go, let me move my TV remote out of the way so I don't accidentally yeet that onto the floor. So we didn't actually start the next world yet because I wanted to save that for today. Miss what you said you were streaming later, stupid ads. Welcome, Jamie. Streaming later just because I felt like starting stream a little bit later than usual today. I'm going to balance this a bit better. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. Yeah, just felt like it really. It's going to be a very short one potentially compared to yesterday, so we'll see how quick it goes. Yeah, went out earlier, so I didn't feel like in a huge rush to get back. To get started streaming at the same time. Kind of wanted sometimes to chill out a bit, both before and after. So it was going to be more like 20, as in 8 o'clock, and then it was going to be more like 8:30, and then it kind of just. Here we are at like 8:45, probably a bit later than I would have anticipated, but oh well. Anyway, let's get on the plane and go to what I'm hoping is the second to last level. Yeah, exactly. I reckon there's probably like an hour in this at most. I really can't see there being too much here, unless they spring something like else somewhere on a bit of the map we can't see or whatever, but I doubt it. This map looks pretty complete. But anyway, I hope you're having a good one. Welcome. What have I been up to since yesterday? As I said, I went out. I actually traded in my original Nintendo Switch, as in Switch 1, my OLED one. I still kept around my original one for modding purposes, but needed a bit of cash towards building a PC that I'm working on. So I was like, oh, well, I'll get rid of that, and I got a good deal for it. So that was like a big chunk of it today.
Had some connection to Ragnium, and
oh yeah, and I still have my light as well.
He's clearly had contact with the Ragnium,
which I still need to get like a proper protective case for, maybe one day mod chip it. That'd be nice.
Where did he go?
Oh.
Well, I sure didn't let him go because he was adorable and having his rights violated, and I love him so much! Okay, if we can get a tracker on him, we can follow him to the source of the Ragnium.
Why is Sticks going to help with that? And you were right, it did come back up. I really thought that was just a one-bit joke that they weren't going to go back to, but fair play. Okay. Need to get a grip to this again. Does this game suck ass? Welcome, Larry. I'm actually quite pleased to report, in my experience so far, this game does not suck ass. I've actually been having a decent time with it. The only issue I had is, because I am forced to run to the end of these levels and not interact with any of the collectibles at all, there is like a tiny bit of fatigue involved in that, but, well, you could do what I did just there and get some of the collectibles. But honestly, significantly better game. I've been having a good time with it, so it's been a fun stream. I really enjoyed yesterday's one, and I just want to get it out of the way today, because I'd quite like to cover this and Shattered Crystal on this week's Pick Mix, because I don't have anything else planned otherwise, so all being good, that's what we should be doing on Friday. And yeah, so much more like fluid, the controls are way better, like even basic things like Sonic's startup speed isn't ridiculous. It's like a natural flow or whatever here. I did do a good job of showing it. Character abilities are much more refined in general. Oops. And just generally, it's a way more polished game. That's what an extra 2 years and listening to criticisms of the first one kind of gets you. Especially when, you know, you've not got to work on the engine the second time round, right? You've done all that side of the work, so it is just polishing and refining it. So that's what they did. They did a really good job. I'm quite happy to sing this game's praises, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect Sonic game or anything, but in terms of like a glow up, this is one for the ages. This is a very good sequel to a very naff game, honestly. Like, still like a solid, I don't know, like, call it like 3.5 out of 5, but compared to, I think I gave Shattered Crystal like a 1.5 when I played it. Like, that's a huge improvement, and it shouldn't be understated, just the work that went into getting this to where it is. Too addicted to Absalom to pop in yesterday? It's no worries. I did kind of spring it on people, so I fully expected that people wouldn't be able to be around as much. Which is why I'd probably be a bit more upfront with next week and beyond stream plans. Hopefully a bit more ahead of time. If not, I'll certainly probably end up talking about what next week's streams are going to be once we've finished Sonic Boom on the channel, which should be today. I've not put finale in the title, but I'm confident today will be the finale one way or the other, even if it is very much later than I'd normally stream. We've got some good progress in here. But how is Epsilon, by the way? I have very little idea of what it's about, but I've seen a couple people get very much into it now. I don't know what to expect exactly. Whoops. That was on me. That's better. I could go down here and get the coil I'm never going to use. Yeah, I'll do it. Treat myself, why not? Everyone, oh, yes, I remember this now, actually. Yeah, in that case, you might have to give that a check out. I'm not huge on the survival modes in those games. I'm specifically referring to Mr. X Nightmare and whatever the Turtles one is called that I can't remember. That's basically a clone of that. So look, 3-minute level. Bit different from last time. Yeah, I wasn't too huge on those modes, but I could be swayed pretty easily. I just suck at them, that's the biggest thing. So if it's a game in itself, I'm sure it's got more options to kind of cater it to me, I guess. Oh, there he goes. Give chase.
Catch up to that robot and get this tracker on it.
Still never found where there's a robot island is. I might have to actually make my way over there depending on how this next race goes, because that last robot race we did at the end of last stream was brutal. It was so close the entire race. Only barely won. Keep running forward a bit too fast and hitting enemies, then homing attacking after I've already hit them. It was a bad habit I had yesterday, and it seems like it's going to carry into today, so everyone get used to it. Doesn't look too bad. Absalom tends to get on either PC or Switch. Oh, I can imagine that's really good on Switch, actually, yeah. I hadn't thought about that too much, but I can imagine that being a great little game for either Switch 1 or 2, to be honest. I've definitely been getting a bit tempted here and there to pull out the Switch Lite from all of Larry's antics, so at some point maybe I'll I'll do that for some slightly smaller games, get a bigger SD card in it and just go, oh, this is nice. I've told the story a million times, or the idea, but I keep threatening to ship it, like I said earlier, to turn it into an emulation device, because I think it's got some big potential there for that sort of thing with the form factor and the screen, controls, etc. Oh, I didn't tell you about Switch Lite giving me back and neck ache then. No! But funnily enough, my Switch 2's been giving me neck and back ache, which is probably way different to yours, but it's probably for you because it's too small, whereas the Switch 2 for me is way too big. Specifically, way too big, but way too thin. Like, if it was big but thick, like the Steam Deck, I wouldn't mind, because I find that really comfy. But the Switch is huge with barely anything to grab onto. This is really, like... what's the word? I don't know. We're getting really... euphemisms, that's the one. Mine's a posture thing. Okay, fair enough. I know for a lot of people, stuff like that is kind of caused by size of the device and things like that. Yeah, like I was playing Kirby Air Riders on handheld, because I've never played the Switch 2 handheld. I wanted to watch something on the TV while I was grinding out some of the checklist gaming moments, which the game has a lot of. Not required, but it has a lot of checklist gaming, so it's been good for me when I've had not much else to do recently. And oh my goodness, it is so uncomfortable to hold that thing for more than like an hour for me. I'm really desperately looking at some grips for that thing, specifically dockable ones, so I don't even have to like bother taking it off when I want to dock it. That was always my problem with my Switch 1 grips, was that it just wasn't a thing with most of them, except for the really expensive ones. So yeah, boring story there you go. We're all getting old, or something like that. Skull and Co. do a dockable grip. Okay, I was just looking at some random cheapo Amazon ones, but I'm happy to take some brand recognition. Or brand recognition? Brand name recognition, or whatever, you know. Comfort of Switch 2, I have to put it on tabletop mode, I have my arms resting upwards for comfort. See, I couldn't even play it in bed. You're braver than I am, honestly, because, like, the thought of that makes my wrist just explode. Like, specifically, it's not a wrist thing for the most part, though, when I'm playing it, like, sat up on the sofa or whatever. It's more like the corners of my hands really hate the experience. Which is weird, because I found the Switch 1 uncomfortable every now and then, but only very rarely, like, after big play sessions or whatever. Like, it takes nothing off the Switch 1 off the Switch 2. I think it's just because everything's that much thinner. Like, there's so much weight to it, but like I said, nothing to hold on to. No grips, no anything. You're just kind of digging all the weight into the corner of your hand. Is the weight an issue for anyone? There you go. Absolutely. I think it's way too heavy without having anything extra to grip onto. Just, once again, like I said, Steam Deck never had that issue. You can use that thing for hours and it's heavier. So it's just a matter of ergonomics a little bit, I think. The screen's great. I always, when actually using it as a handheld rather than in tabletop, I really take note of how big the screen is. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of surprised by that. Like, it's a huge difference versus the Switch 1. Now, it's not OLED, of course, which is a shame, but it's still a nice screen for the most part, I'd say. But yeah, you kind of, the wow factor of that gets taken away a little bit when I'm then going, oh my goodness, this thing's just so heavy. Yeah, they're trying to counter issues with the original Switch. I'd argue there's a sense of reinventing the wheel because people think there needs to be a difference to buy it. Like, Nintendo fans all throughout the run-up will go, no, it won't be a Switch 2, because Nintendo always has a unique gimmick, so they'll reinvent the wheel. Or rather, sorry, they'll make a new wheel, I guess, but this time round, they were like, no, we have to cater to those people, so we have to make it needlessly different, so we'll completely mess with the Joy-Cons. Obviously, most people had an issue with the Joy-Cons. I'm sure most people wouldn't have an issue with them being made bigger, but it's like, why did they need to be thinner? Like, the heft of them was fine as it was. And obviously, yeah, it's got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger. Is it more comfortable because it's bigger? No, it's less comfortable. Then why does it need to be bigger? Because it's a marketing point, you know? Also, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll have a look at that after this. I like them enough. I have two big problems with them. Actually, no, I just have the one big problem with them, to be honest. I find the... I've said this before, so forgive me. There's a huge dead zone on the ZL and ZR triggers for me, like right in the bottom left and right corner of each one respectively. So the right one, it's the bottom right corner of the ZR button. ZL, same deal. Like, I was playing Mario Kart and it was dropping my inputs all over the place. I've messed this up because of that. yeah, it was dropping my inputs all over the place because it just wasn't detecting them. I've had this on other people's Joy-Cons, so it's not just an issue with mine, I don't think. And yeah, I've always docked it for the same reasons, basically. Pro 2, TV, etc. That's just because I kind of prefer that sort of play, and even when I'm out and about, I'll just tabletop it. I've always done that. Even if I'm using the Joy-Cons, like, split or whatever most of the time, I'll still just tabletop it. It's a bit more. I'd kind of have to... I'd have to, like, show you where it is on the Joy-Con, but it was always where I held the Joy-Con once. I never had an issue with dropping the inputs or anything like that, but so often I would press it on day one and it wouldn't do anything, and that was like the biggest turnaround for, okay, I'm going to switch back to Pro Controller, which at the time was the 8-bit do one, but that didn't work on day one until there was a firmware patch. In my opinion, Switch 1's a handheld you can connect to a TV, and Switch 2 is a console you can play portably. Basically, very much. I've 100% just treated it as a handheld console because the wow factor of being able to take it places has already worn off quite quickly, to the point where I've actually just regressed to using other handhelds when out and about a little bit more than I did ever with my Switch 1. Because, like you say, battery life's a big issue, like... so I go to like quite a lot of local gaming events and things like that. Quite often there'll be about 4 hours. I'm having to pull a battery pack out after 2 hours. I used to be able to do a full thing of that and change with the Switch 1 playing something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Even playing the same game on the Switch 2, I'm getting like 3 hours. I'm getting a bit more than something like Mario Kart World, but not by much. Hey Sophus, welcome. I hope you're having a good one, and thank you for dropping by. Tried mouse mode the other day with Cyberpunk. It's awkward at first, but you still need to use the face button so you can easily adapt. That was the problem I had with... I was really excited to play Fortnite on mouse mode. And then I was like, yeah, wait, hang on a minute. You've got to use... You can't map all the buttons to the left Joy-Con, I don't think, so you still got to use the right Joy-Con while it's in mouse mode, which is really awkward to get your head around. Like, I need to press B, but B's in a different position because it's in mouse mode. It's going good, thank you. Just looking forward to playing some more of this and getting it done. Oh, one thing I will say as well, the writing isn't really stilted and clearly by the game team. It's way better in this game. We presume it's mostly by the team who did the show. As you can tell, full motion cutscenes there.
It worked! Now all we have to do is follow it to the Ragnium source.
Styx is great, 100%. Cyberpunk is a control scheme not said anywhere in game on Switch. What's that? I wasn't familiar with that.
Here we go.
Oh, actually, yes. You can... I don't know about keyboard, but certainly anything... By design, anything that can use mouse mode on Switch 2 has to also support USB mouse. Presumably for accessibility purposes. So if you've ever seen anything advertised as, hey, it can use Switch 2 mouse mode, I'm pretty confident it has to also have USB mouse support. Yes, keyboard is definitely a Cyberpunk thing. I think on a per game basis on the Switch 1 you could request keyboard support. It was very rare, but you could do it. Whereas, yeah, mouse mode kind of has made mouse a requirement. Let's play Mario & Wario at some point before my Switch Online runs out. I hadn't thought about that. I completely forgot that was on there. I did mess with Mario Paint at some point. Mario Paint's still a lot of fun. Mario & Wario are actually getting a real release over here now. Oh yes, Doom did have mouse and keyboard, you're totally right. I didn't know Quake did, however. I've never messed with those re-releases. Keep meaning to get to Quake. I've just never actually played any of them except for Free Arena. Played some Free Arena very recently at 4 Quarters with some friends. It was a good deal of fun. But it's really the only one I've ever dabbled with. Gotta pay for Switch Online again. It's always the way, isn't it? Sometimes it'll be worth it, other times not really. Oh yeah, that sounds awful. I think I messed with it once for like 2 minutes and then went to Mario Paint. Yeah, it's always the way with Switch Online, sorry. Changing conversations all over the place here. You never need it, and then there's just something you really fancy playing, and it's like, I wish I had it. Can't quite relate in my own sense, because I just pay for it rolling with the family plan, but I definitely had periods of time when it first came out where I was like, I'm not paying for it this month, there's nothing I want to play. Until I joined the family plan like 2 or 3 years ago, that was always the case. I'm like, no, let me this. That's why I'm not planning to renew. I haven't used it in months. Yeah, honestly, goodness, I'm trying to think the last thing I would have played online on Switch. Oh, yeah, that also really sounds annoying. It might have also been Mario Kart World with you, now that I'm thinking it. Because I've not touched a single mode of Kirby Online yet. I'm loving Kirby, it's great. But most of the hooks for me have been in the single-player content, which it has a very good single-player mode. I know everyone's getting bored of the comparisons, but you know, very Smash-like in its single-player modes in terms of like a lot of arcadey stuffs and roguelite elements to it, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really held its own as a single-player thing, and not just like most games, say like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, for example. Oh, that's what I would have done. It was ZA Online. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I loved, but it was just like, you know, Grand Prix was the offline, basically. Which I still got loads of time and enjoyment out of. Like, the most I've enjoyed a Grand Prix mode or just doing offline content in the game for years. But Kirby's just like a load of different stuff for its offline mode. It doesn't just do that, because, oh, it's a racing game, we gotta do that or whatever. Like, the roguelite World Tour mode's a great deal of fun. There's a couple other things that I'm now forgetting, like the top ride and doing all the checklist stuff. Festivals kind of soured me on Crossword. I can get that 100%. They're not for everyone, in fact, they're for very few people. I know very few people who actually like the festivals. They like the rewards they get from them more than they like doing the festivals. Don't worry, seems like they're continuing on the same pace based on the Pac-Man being in January leak from yesterday. So, there'll be 1 in December presumably, and then 2 in January again. So we're just gonna get straight back to it, pretty much.
Signal strong. Radium source, here we come.
I didn't mind the SpongeBob one too much recently, at least. Like, I played it with a group of people and then went back to clean it up again with another group. Brother's a big Forza Horizon head. I can now relate when he complains about bad teammates who don't do the objective. I've never touched that stuff in Horizon, and I don't intend to. Like, I think I've said before, the one time I tried to play Horizon in an online match, people immediately griefed me, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going back to my cozy offline checklist game, and you can't stop me. Massively looking forward to Horizon 6 next year for a new checklist, and also thanking God for it being on Steam, because happily code that or whatever. So much Horizon that he gets his money's worth, and then somewhat from the Ultimate Edition. I don't make a habit out of it, but I did nab the DLC on Steam today, the premium upgrade, because I already had the Steam version for ages because it was on some sort of sale. But I'm moving towards playing those games on PC now. I don't use an Xbox at all. So part of that is, luckily with Horizon, you can use a Game Pass save file converter stuff to Steam. That's really the only reason. I couldn't move my save over unless I bought the DLC, and that was by far the cheapest way to get the DLC again, because it's on a huge Black Friday sale right now. Otherwise, buying the key would have been like 60 quid. I'm not about to pay that just so I could get free my save from Xbox as the one game I still play on it. Because all being good, I should be able to build the living room PC thing that I've been looking into for a few months next week. I've got most of the parts sorted now. So yeah, one of the things I was building that for is, like I say, finally free Horizon, because not having had a good PC at my current setup here is the one thing that's kind of stopped me from playing more Horizon or moving the save to Steam for all these years, because it runs absolutely awfully on my laptop, but with this I should be able to run it pretty well for a good budget price, thankfully. And from there I can go, yes, I can finally play it on my great PC back home, my somewhat competent PC here, so I'm looking forward to being able to get that done. A couple other games I've been wanting to play, but haven't wanted to do so. Like, I really want to play Metaphor towards the end of the year here, because I've not got stuck into an RPG for ages. I've been kind of getting bored in the evenings with, like, definitely had a lot of seasonal affective disorder this last week or so. It's like, I need something to get my teeth sunk into during the long nights or whatever, so not done an RPG for a long while, so I've been thinking about doing Metaphor. Part of that is I don't want to play that on a crappy laptop, where I can't really like enjoy the game to its fullest, so now that's done, or about to be done, it's another thing going on the list. Fire and Dice indeed, welcome King. Getting pretty close to being done, slicing and dicing it, thankfully. Yeah, still having fun with it, that's what counts. Played Crazy Taxi 2 of all things for the first time in a while. Any particular reason? I was going to say, was it the arcade version, but I don't think it had an arcade version now that I'm thinking about it. If you just fire it up on Dreamcast or something, or PSP, right? You have a Dreamcast. The whole soundtrack is Offspring for some reason. It is, and it's actually a good bunch of Offspring tracks. Some of my favourites on there. Like, you got the iconic 2 in the first one, but there's a lot of good stuff that doesn't get the attention from being in the second game. Can't remember anything from 3. For as much as people complain about the replaced soundtrack, at least there's a bunch of tracks on there that I really like. I can't think of anything from the third game at all. Okay, is that the end of the island already? Yeah, home console only. I was going to say it was specifically made because of the home console demand. Funny this was the last game to have a Sonic Heroes gimmick. In what way? With like the multiple characters thing? I'm trying to think, but I think you're right in that sense, yeah. Next games I'm interested in getting is Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch 2. I actually didn't know that was coming out on Switch 2. Sands of Time remake, Kirby Air Riders and FF remake integrated. Have we had confirmation on how, is this a worm tunnel? I actually want to see if this is. Yeah, have we had confirmation on how Final Fantasy runs on Switch yet? Oh, Encore mode. Yeah, that's like 2 years later, but this is pretty close. Lost full game, if we want to be pedantic. This is a worm tunnel. They are back in this game. I kind of wondered if they'd just ditched them. Yeah, still, it's a very good example of it, so worth pointing out, I guess. What do I do? Oh, I have to change between fire and ice. Okay. Yes. Okay. I don't think we've had official confirmation, but it runs well, apparently. Yakuza Kiwami 2 came out on Switch recently. How is that only running at 30 FPS? It was made for PS4, for goodness sake. I know it didn't run very well on there either, but like, surely we can do something to get it running better on Switch 2, right? Probably not. Oops. Nearly died both times there. Kiwami 1's a fine port. I needed to burn some Amazon Japan credit, so ended up paying for the upgrade pass on that. It's fine. Didn't need a Switch 2 port, bearing in mind the original Kiwami 1 was uncapped on Switch 1. They then capped it in an update to help with frame rate issues. So if they just reverted to that old patch, you wouldn't even need a Switch 2 patch, but they smelt money. So I'm guessing that's why they didn't undo the patch. Because otherwise, I can't be bothered with this. Otherwise, I'm not too sure what the differences are, really. This isn't required, so I'm just not bothering. Yeah, Kiwami 2 is weird. The one thing I do know about Final Fantasy is I saw the special edition is like 99 gigabytes or something. Hope you got an SD card, Jamie. I've got an SD card. And I also have Fortnite installed. And Fortnite every single update is like 30 gigabytes, so it always prompts me to delete something to make room for Fortnite. So I have 512 gig in my Switch total, and there's still not enough, annoyingly. So it's up this way. It's not up this way. What am I doing then? So it's this way? What on earth is this map? This one's really confusing. See, I want to go up, right? And then, what was this way? What was that? So I want to go up here instead. Oh. Was that it? We're straight to the plane already? Yeah. Okay, well, Ragnarok. Final world, potentially, I guess. Oh no, are we doing another robot race? Warriors Wasteland. Ah, this is their solution to only having put 7 islands on the map. Oh, no, it is another robot race, okay. Kind of cheating, but whatever. Also, Assassin's Creed next week. When did it come out on other consoles? Or is it day and date with them? Because I'm pretty sure Shadows was the one that came out in like February or something, right? What am I? Oh, I am meant to do that. It seems really hacky and something the robot can't do, so I don't want to jinx it, but it's going to be a bit on the easier side. No, okay, he just cheats. Cool. Okay, Shadows came out in March. Got it. There we go, I can do that, whereas he can't, so I gotta bear that in mind for those sections. Why did I not get the... Oh, I'm not actually past the finish line, that's just very similar to the section at the beginning here, this one. Okay, so just gotta kind of try and remember what's going on here. Didn't need the extra jump, that lost me a bit of time. So these ones, I can just go up like that and completely ignore that. I should have gone back for that boost pad there because he's going to get me some time on me. Oh yeah, Eggman's having a great time with this. Absolutely eating some popcorn. It's already been established he just does this because he enjoys it, according to the story, which I've got to rate. Everyone needs a bit of entertainment every now and then. Evil Ham, true. Had a random Steam recommendation that caught my eye this morning. Go on, the good sort? Or was it just curious? Still a little close, but it's only really due to rubber banding. He kind of whiffs it at certain points, so just gotta keep my wits about me. That's it. That's what I meant to do the first time. Spin dash actually losing me speed. Thank you. Very cool. Alright, there we go. Okay. Should be set. Oh, yes. I saw someone recommend this on another server, I think. Neat looking 2D platformer called Sir Noggin, the Archery Museum, particularly the white the white grid background and blue serif font. Can't think about what system you're referring to here, but one that I have an affinity for, certainly.
That was a nice little workout.
Right, so was that all a trip just to get over here? Yeah, this was just part of getting to this island, seemingly. Oh boy. Yeah, the art style did look very Wonder Boy, that's a good point. The NES? No, Jamie. Oh, this is just do a load of mini games. Okay. Is this going to be like a really pointless island? Because I just don't have to interact with anything. Really does seem that way, doesn't it? Double trouble. Okay. Is this just not going to be a boss fight? That's it.
The tracker says we're almost on top of the robot. This place is definitely the Ragnium source.
Oh, Coda, really? Oh.
Eggman must be mining.
I'm gonna have to take a look at this after stream as well.
Byproducts of Eggman's mining operation get piped
Link it in the general on Discord if you don't mind. We can all have a look
Why
through
does
it
this
in a
place
bit.
look like it's going to explode?
Since we're closing the fissures, the pressure is building up here at the source. Eventually, I bet it will explode. Look!
You again. What are you doing back here after I sent you to the islands to monitor the fissures? A task in which you failed miserably, I might add. And you're a mess. Have you been letting somebody besides me kick you around? Defect is too good a name for you.
He can't talk to a Doro by 2000 that way.
Sonic and his troop of buffoons. No doubt you let them here, you worthless junk pile. Destroy them before they ruin my entire operation.
100% the best part of Boom, yeah. Boom Eggman's great. And is this guy going to be an actual threat for once? Am I going to have to pull out the DS from under the table so I can actually see what I'm doing? That sounds really weird, I'm aware, if you weren't here on the last stream. I'm just using it as a controller and playing off the OBS preview at the moment.
Now you have to stop doing that. Stop it, I say. You're destroying my beautiful Ragnium mine. But no, stop it, you miserable bot. As much as it pains me to ask for help, what's happening now pains me worse. I mean, it really hurts. Somebody help
Funny he comes
me.
like randomly in the
Chill
TV show,
out,
just like
Eggface,
Shadow
we
and
got
Queen
this.
Norton a lot. Yeah, their solution to putting in these special characters into the Boom TV show is just they'll show up for an episode so we don't have to keep writing them in. They don't really work the comedy plot that well, minus maybe Vector. And then Vector's TV show exclusive. Okay, Sonic and Styx duo this time. Let's peep this. Am I gonna need both screens? Because we had dual screen bosses last time, which were very DS reminiscent, which were kind of hard to play off the capture window. So if that is the case, then I've got it right here. I'm right here next to me on the table, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. Yes, I do. Well, just gotta project my voice into the mic somewhat then. Oops. There you go, very cool little use of dual screens. The only thing is I can't really read chat very easily when doing this, so FYI. What am I meant to do there? Oh! It's the boomerang icon. I just thought it was a random symbol or something. Wait, what? Once again, what? Do here this time, doing that, then make the FPS explode apparently. So what I wanna actually... Oh, yes, okay. The homing attack thing appears, I just have to give it time. There we go. Okay. It's like not an instant process like I was kind of expecting it to be. Yeah, sorry, I really can't read chat right now. The 3DS is in the complete... I'm looking at a different side of the room to where the laptop's on to even be able to do this, so I'll catch back up when I can. Which is annoying because it's the final boss, and just talk through like the credits, or at least I assume this is the final boss. It kind of feels like it. We'll see. I'm not entirely convinced, actually, by the plot, to be honest, that this is going to be the end. Come on. There we go. It just wasn't quite responding as I wanted it to. Sorry, I've managed to juggle a couple of rings still here. Can you let me hit you again? Yes. Yes, you can. Back to something I wasn't expecting in the show. I don't quite know their logic for introducing a new character that late. Because, yeah, the other two were at least like, oh, we did it because they were in the games already, so it makes sense to write them into the show. Minus Lyric, they just kind of wanted to forget that existed. Who could blame them? Oops. Yeah, I don't quite get the reason for making Vector so late into the show. Not that it's an issue, it's just a curiosity to me more than anything. So what's going to be Sonic's unique feature? I honestly don't know, because that seems to just be a generic thing I was meant to avoid. Oh! Whoops. Didn't see it spawn in time. Luckily, it didn't matter. I also feel like I phased through that, but the game gave it to me. Alright, come on. Do the thing. You're not doing it. There we go. One more hit. And then, once again, I'm not convinced this is very final boss feeling. Surely it'll be Eggman or something, so I have to see how the epic plot thickens after this. Oops. Nearly ran headfirst into some of these again. Luckily the traction control's so much better here to where I can actually get myself back under control when I do that, instead of just sliding all over the place. Yep. Yep. Okay. Do the thing, please. You're not doing it. You're then going to do the head slam before you let me hit you, right? Nope. Go. Good. Maybe it was one of those cases where the episode order got changed, or set up for season 3. That's a good point, 'cause I think they were at least making preliminary plans for season 3. Or at least I presume they would be. No show goes, nah, we're going to get cancelled, why bother? Unless they get told very early in the season. Right, so what's happening now?
And that's how you do it.
Defect completely ruined the mine, so it's impossible to mine racnium here again. Anybody? Will help. Lots of help!
My back is never gonna be the same.
Well, I suppose I should show some sort of appreciation. Here.
Adorobot 2000!
I'm so sorry about the way I treated you. All you wanted was to give me love, and I returned that with contempt. If I'd only known, I wouldn't have let the most powerful mech I've ever built get beaten by Sonic. Oh well.
This Eggman's got a sensitive side. Leave him to it.
Harmless as a puppy.
Well, I would say those words. You know, those words I can't seem to say.
Thank you!
That's them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go review my insurance policy and see if it covers active bot.
Is that really gonna be it?
Even with insurance, the deductible's gonna kill him. That's how they get you.
Yes, seemingly. Wow. Okay. What a nothing burger of an ending. Huh. I really thought there'd be more to that last island than a level. I thought it would be the same amount we had last time, so yeah. Also, by the way, it's not just the stream making the text that blurry, it is actually very blurry on the bottom screen as well. I don't know why. Also, the bottom line is completely garbage on the bottom screen. You can't really see it on the stream. Maybe if I make it the top layer, you might be able to see it. But yeah, on my actual 3DS screen, there's a load of garbage at the bottom for some reason. Credits and FMV, yes it is. I put it above the layout, but you still can't see it. So it's really interesting that's a hardware-only thing. See if I can see it on the actual capture window. It's barely there on the capture window, but yeah, not enough to be visible on the version you guys can see. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's just an FMV file. Let me take a picture of this. I'll put it in the Discord real quick, or I'll send it to myself so I can actually show you. There you go. My top screen's a bit filthy. That's quite grim, but really need to get around to cleaning that. Yeah, it's just a text scroll. The 3DS can manage it, but it's so blurry. I don't know why. Right, let me Discord this to myself quick. And speaking of blurry, the picture's really blurry for some reason. Then it'll go on Discord. I'm gonna resend myself that. Oh. Rubbish. Not actually it's not focusing on the screen very well. Oh dear. It's a bit better. I don't have a mouse unfortunately though, so it's a bit difficult. I've also not been able to read chat for a moment while doing this. Oh, copyright Sega. What was that stutter, by the way? Oh, and we're done. Okay. Sorry, just trying to... The credits are pushing the 3DS to its limit. Oh, you know it. The end. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the game. Couldn't you tell they probably ran out of budget and or time by the end of that? 2025. There it is. The picture's way too big for the stream layout. Perks of having a modern phone, I guess. It's now way too low for me to actually see it on the stream. There it is. Still too big. You can kind of see it a little bit there. Yeah, there you go. Right at the bottom of the screen, there's just a load of garbage data. It's really difficult for it to focus. As you can see, it's focusing on the bottom screen. I don't know why that's all there. But it definitely is. Wasn't this released at the tail end of Boom? Jamie looked it up yesterday. The show apparently went into early 2017. This is summer 2016, so yeah, very late. Like, this is... The show probably is already cancelled by this point. They're just airing whatever ones were finished. So this is very much, I imagine, at some point just... Okay, you guys had an extra year. That's more than we wanted to give you, so... You've had your time pushed out till... That's what that ending reeks to me of a little bit. I don't mind. It's trying to be more funny than serious, like the last game was trying to be, so... I don't mind a bit of a nothing burger ending, but it's just funny just how little happens there. Oh, well, this really was a short stream, wasn't it? And goodbye frames. For some reason they're disappearing on me. There we go, now my internet's recovering. What do we do for the rest of this? Because I don't feel like finishing that off just yet. Better cut short than pushed out the door of what happened with most Sonic games. Pretty much, yeah. I have like nothing on this 3DS, so I can't really even offer that much fun, to be honest with you. I can look at the doodles that we did many years ago. Goodness, when would these have been? See, I want to say that some of these would have been back when I was streaming on the RS account. Maybe I did them when we did Generations or something like that. Amogus. Look, all I'm saying is, there's time. We can take some suggestions here. Let's check my play logs for the two games, actually. I'm a little curious about that. I never use the activity logs on the 3DS. I really should. Oh, the doodle. Yeah, but my point is, we can doodle as much as we like. Suggestions, please. Daily records. No, I want titles, actually. I don't know how this works. I never do this. New titles have been added to the software library. So even some titles you're not meant to see. Homebrew on my 3DS. It's more likely than you'd think. Oh, classic. Don't check the reason why I was about to play this. That's why I was playing this recently. That's not important. Metro Prime Hunter's demo version. That's what my flashcard uses. Oh, that's what an old flashcard used. Nowadays, where is it? Touch Bomb Manland is what that uses. I have some blank titles. I suggest TOS violation. No. The Pretendo installer, Mario and Sonic. There we go. We got that far into Mario and Sonic. The Virtual Card album. I got a little bit of time on. Sex Pikachu, the longest, 17 hours nearly. Apparently that's my most played 3DS game. 3 hours 36 for that one generation stream. Yeah, 6 hours 32 for Sonic Boom Shadow Crystal versus 3 hours of Fire and Ice. Make of that what you will. Oh, Power of Illusion. I downloaded it. Sorry, I mean I got the cartridge. Well, I don't think I've played much more beyond that. In all seriousness, I do actually need to grab myself a copy because I would like to stream it someday. You didn't hear that last bit though, so moving on. Yes, there you go. Very little playtime in this. Gotta stream something to knock Shadow Crystal off the top 3. I'm planning something in the new year that probably will do that. Can't be my legacy. Look, my legacy would be putting Shattered Crystal as my favourite game that I've streamed on my friends list here. Currently that's Detective Pikachu. It used to be Sonic Generations, which tells you how many good games I've streamed from this 3DS over the years, I guess. I say that, streamed Planet Robobot, that's a great game. Yeah, Shattered Crystal and Fire and Ice cannot be the legacy. I mean, Detective Pikachu probably still tops it as my favourite thing I've done on the Couch of 3DS over the years, but Fire and Ice, honestly a very good game, so it could be quite far up there. And look, it's my other 3DS. Nothing came of the Robobot rumour. I believe they still think it's going to be a thing. What wouldn't surprise me is if they just made it and stored it on the off chance that, I don't know, like, Nintendo is known for stockpiling games a little bit. Like the Fire Emblem, the English translation of the NES Fire Emblem they did limited back in 2020, it uses the emulator, not from the Switch, not from the NES Switch Online emulator, it uses the Wii U emulator, and was theorized that it's been ready for probably about as long as Earthbound Beginnings has been. Which was, what, like 2015? So it seems like they were holding on to that for a while. Same with... Oh, there was another game. Was it actually Fire Emblem again? I can't remember. It might have been the most recent Fire Emblem Engage, or whatever it was. There was some game they released recently, and people looked at the build dates and stuff in it, and it had been ready for like over a year. They just stockpile things in case they need a release at some point, What wouldn't shock me is if maybe there was a chance that either Kirby game this year didn't make this year, and they got Planet Robobot ready just in case. Like, for all we know, we could still see it next year, because the people who leaked it are still adamant, and they have a decent track record, so they're adamant it's still coming. So it wouldn't shock me if, like, there was a chance that maybe they thought Air Riders wouldn't be ready this year, for example, and they went, well, we'll just chuck it. Or, oh, we don't know whether the Kirby team's going to be ready with Starcross Worlds or whatever it's called, so it might have been the backup plan for that. I don't really know, honestly, but people are still adamant it exists, so it's a curiosity. I think Triple Trouble and Robobot would make more sense even if they did them separate in a physical bundle, like Pikmin 1 and 2 and Galaxy 1 and 2. Yeah, I think it would make more sense to do the both of them next to each other, especially because you've already got Return to Dreamland on Switch, so just then completing that quadrilogy on Switch, because Star Allies is technically part of it as well. No one kind of counts that one as much, but they're all like the same engine. So having the 4 of them all there would be really nice. I, as many know, prefer Triple Trouble as Triple Trouble. Sorry, it's because Jamie said. I prefer Triple Deluxe over Planet Robobot, which is a very hot take, I'm aware, but I really like Triple Deluxe. Both games already had extra modes, so what can you add for a standalone release? You say that, I mean, what's its face? Kirby Return to Dreamland DX had that new Magalore mode, but the original still had an extra mode. It sucked, but it was still there. So that didn't stop them that time. In the case of Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot, they, in response, had way better extra modes. But yeah, anyway, I'm resting on my Capture 3DS friend code here. If you're on Pretendo, feel free to add me. Annoyingly, there's not an open host thing on Pretendo like there is on something like the Weemfi and everything, because that would be really nice if I didn't have to add people back. But alas, the only person I have added back right now is myself on my other 3DS. So, on the off chance you're actually on Pretendo, then there you go. Yeah, I have nothing on this DS. I don't really have any of my cartridges handy. I mean, I can quickly grab my cartridge box over and see what I've got, because I'm honestly kind of enjoying chatting and streaming. I don't want to be over this yet, but I also equally cannot be bothered to plug in like my Switch or anything like that, because none of the cables are here. So give me a sec here, I'll grab it quick. Ugh, there it is. Just kind of had to do it from across the room, so I had to move all my table out of the way, so apologies about any noise that's making. Do I have 3D Classics? Could do Sonic 1. I might have it. Let's have a look in, because I have 2 cartridge cases. This one's an interesting one. So I have in here Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, Tetris DS, Mario & Sonic London. This isn't the London cartridge I actually played on stream. This is a different London cartridge that's cartridge only and is beaten the hell up, basically. Sonic Generations, Mario & Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, Mario 3D Land. That would be fun to stream one day. Skylander Spyro's Adventure. Can't even stream that anyway, because it requires a... whatchamacallit? I can't think of the words. It requires a IR sensor, and this 3DS doesn't have an IR sensor. Nowadays, the newer Capture 3DSs they do actually have the IR sensor still intact, so that would be really nice for those sorts of games, but sadly not. Welcome, Gum. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for dropping by. We're deciding what to do right now, because Shattered Crystal, I finished it in like half an hour of starting the stream, so I've picked up my DS card case and we're just reading through it. Then we've got 42 all-time classics, Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal, nope, that's going in the bin. Sonic Rush, Sonic Classic Collection, Sonic Colors. Oh, Larry, you wanted Sonic 1, huh? Monkey's Poor Curls. Let's do it. At what cost? No, but like, King, the final island was just a boss fight. That's all it was. Yeah, I don't actually know if I do have 3D Classics on me. I get the feeling I might not. Do you know what I do have? this game. Right, I'm not even gonna bother. Actually, behind the curtain peek here. Okay, this isn't even set up. This would have been from last time. Oh wait, no, this is set up. One sec. I can actually do it on this layout. Let's have a gander over here quick. I've still got the Mario Kart chat background. Oh, okay. There's no chat background on here. One sec. I've got to fix that. This is live, by the way. I don't know if you could tell. Image. Add the... Where's chat background? There it is. I could do this in OBS Studio mode, and then you don't even have to see this, but where's the fun in that, am I right? Doing it live, you know it. Once again, that's where the fun is, so why not? Move that down like that. There we go. That's all I need. I can just now hold... What is it, start and select to do pixel perfect mode? Wait for that to boot. Obviously that looks very wrong right now, but if I go into my capture software here and go expand the screen, there you go. That's how you do it. So, Sonic Classic Collection, huh? That's what you wanted. That's, no, actually that's how it looks. That's fine. What we got? We got some illustrations, we got some credits. Another torture. I could never just play anything normal on this stream, can I? Maybe I do have 3D Classics thinking about it. I'll check the other case in a second. I have 2 because they don't all fit in one case. Let's look at some illustrations. Oh, look at that. Nice and crunchy. Still Wild. Oh, did I say that? Still Wild is the only dedicated handheld port of free until Origins. Literally, and this was... I played quite a bit of Sonic through this back in the day. Play Sonic 3, you need a photosensitivity warning. Is it that bad? I don't remember it being that bad. There you go, that's all your Sonic illustrations you're allowed. This kind of just looks like a flip book, this bit here. Like, ooh. Anyway. Sonic 1. Blue Spheres is busted in DSi mode? Really? Don't worry, I have a solution. It's not a solution anyone likes, but it's a solution nonetheless. That does not need capitals. I can spell, that's fine. Warming. Yeah, that'll do. Add a little pizzazz, and by pizzazz we mean an outline. That's right. Professional. I've got to check this out now, though. I'm legitimately curious as to what this is all about. Flashing light. No, yeah, but that's because I've not fitted it on the stream yet. Give me time. Break out Comic Sans. I can do that. Where's my text? There it is. Font. Comic. Okay, this has a useless search feature apparently. Good to know. Comic Sans. There it is. The people wanted it. This game is going to be peak. Oh, you know it. There it is at the bottom. Graphic design is old-fashioned. Once again, OBS has a mode to let me do this, and it just appears nicely on screen. This is not a stream for that. I would be a bit more professional about it, any other game, but this game deserves doing it live. Love Sonic 2 and Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Why did they do that? Like, this was how I played Sonic 2 and Knuckles for the most part back in the day. Also, they never bothered changing any of the artwork from the American one. I don't even think this came out in Japan, but certainly over here in Europe they just didn't even bother. Right, I've got to check this out. So this is Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, of course. Classic, I'm sure we can all agree. We've all played this one on the on our Sega Genesises, right? This doesn't have save states, by the way. I don't know why, when various other games do. But this one doesn't. I apparently got as far as Marble Garden. With some Chaos Emeralds, interestingly. I do enjoy the solution to the DS screen being lower resolution than the Mega Drive outputs, which is just kind of zooming the game in a little bit, but they do still a decent job of it, for the most part, I think, anyway. I know this isn't Sonic 1, and that's what I promised, but we'll get there. Zooming into Lace. Smile and wave, boys. Yeah, like, the camera stuff that they do to make it work is quite clever, I think, for the most part. Well, you can see the camera kind of follows me a little bit. Like, that's smart. I thought this was good back in the day. Jamie, I thought this was good back in the day. I was like 7. You were an adult. There was no excuse for thinking this was good at the time. Most people did not think this was good. Okay, so let's see what this is all about. Oh, nice bit of lag there. Oh. Oh my goodness, yeah. What on earth? Wow, that's really bugged. And what, this is fine on DS mode? Seeing someone at school play Sonic 3 on the DS Lite blew my tiny mind. I mean... 60... no, that's not good enough, Jamie. You should know better than that. Yeah, my reason I got this game, I've definitely said this before on a show like many years ago or something like that. I just walked into a Tesco and it existed. I had no idea this game was coming out, and I was pretty active on like Sonic communities by this point, at least as like a lurker. I didn't know this thing was coming out, and it was just there on the shelf, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've already played these games on like Wii Virtual Console and stuff. I can take them on the go. This is really cool. Obviously not knowing what a crap port it is, because at the time I was pretty satisfied with it, honestly. I think I played this way more than most other versions of the game for a while. First time I actually sat and beat any of these outside of Classic Collection would have been Sonic Mega Collection, actually, I think. No, that's a lie. It would have been the Xbox 360 ports, which have their own problems, honestly, but it's neither here nor there, I guess. When did it release? Mid-2009, if memory serves correctly. At least that's when I remember picking it up. Or was it 2010? It might have been 2010. It was one of the two. March 2010. Okay. Got my dates slightly wrong. So like you can tell it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because we've got the right music. I think Sonic 3 does keep its music if you go into the actual Sonic 3. I can't believe it took them so long to make proper ports of the original games that had no issues. Nice one, by the way. I feel like the Mega Collection was decent, but that was also because it was Sonic Team themselves, so they knew what the game should run like and like put a great deal of effort into making sure they did. That's like really the only example of a good port I can think of. The Wii Virtual Console ones are fine. Also, yeah, there was like way too much of a distinction after this game came out. I remember there being backlash for using Modern Sonic on the artwork, just because it didn't fit. It was pre-classic Sonic being his own character for some reason. So, yeah. Plus, there's like a huge amount of input lag on the special stages that doesn't really feel like it's present on the overworld. So, once again, good science, make of that what you will. Like, I'm looking at the... Oh my god, this one's really bad. Like, I'm looking at the capture preview, and I've been playing Fire and Ice through it all day. I've been playing most of this through it all the time, and not had any issues. Then I get into these special stages, and I'm like, goodness me, I can't really see what's going on. I'll read that in a second, Jamie. Yeah, this game is DSi enhanced. For the most part, most of the games I remember running much better on the DSi enhanced mode. Because everyone always complained about slowdown in this game. I never really remembered it, and then I learned it was DSi enhanced. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. As to why I never noticed that, unlike some people did. Yeah, it's a bit less. It's not much. By the way, nice graphics still being in RAM there, I guess. Yeah, it's not much, but it does help. Because I was already well and truly on a DSi by then. I got mine pretty early because I banged up my original DS Lite quite bad. So it was like, okay, you know, a lesson in taking care of your stuff a bit better. And as a result, ended up with the DSi by this point, which still in very good condition. in my... what's the word? In my ownership to this day. So by then I already had this, so... Twitch encoding hates Angel Island Waterfalls. Twitch encoding hates most things. Like I've learned, the background image on my logo in the corner there, Twitch encoding hates that, to the point where I'm considering changing it, but I never know what to change it to, because I quite like the visual style. PT did a nice job on it. But I never know what to change it to. Something similar, but something that eats a bit less bitrate. You can notice it quite a lot on 16:9 games. It's really obvious. But yeah, Angel Island Waterfalls and or Sonic Generations, they're the two things Twitch encoding hates most. I don't know why I'm still continuing to do this. It's just kind of like this fascinating mess to me to keep messing about with this Blues Fizz stuff. Like, how did this happen? I don't know. It's impressive. That no one caught this on the DSi enhancements. They were like, hey, Sonic 3 don't work. Someone put it back into the lab or whatever. Or was this once again a ship it situation? Is it not the urge to see if it gets any worse as the stages get harder? Have I hit full speed at any point yet? Maybe I should try and hit full speed and see how bad it gets. Sonic 3 was already a hot mess before this collection. Yeah, this was the beginning of Sonic 3 having issues in general with like re-releases trying to emulate it. Ugh, this game's a mess. I'm surprised that even they found a way to keep re-releasing it to this day. So is the music speed up really subtle, or is it happening? By the way, this is really hard to look at, so yeah, you're having fun out there. Imagine that one Sonic and Knuckles special stage like this. Do you mean the piss-coloured one, or is this a different one? What is it? Oh no, the yellow and purple one, right? Or once again a different one to that. Is this full speed yet? I'm just going in a circle. I think it's full speed. Oh god, yeah, no, that's horrendous. Oh, okay, I messed it up. I'm at full speed. The music just didn't sound fast. Oh, the music speed doesn't change, that's why. Okay. Sonic 3 had many issues because of the music over the years. How did this even get released? This was just before they started happening. Like, people started piecing the Michael Jackson stuff together earlier than this, but it really became mainstream in 2009. Guess what else happened in 2009 that probably made contacting rights holders a little more difficult? I'm sure you can guess. It's involving him again. Anyway. Oh, the start button doesn't pause, just thought I'd point that out. You have to use the on-screen button. There are some controls here though, so that's good. I can't actually see my screen, so I'm just trying to guess these. There we go. I am sure I want to quit. I'm out of here. We said Sonic 1. For the fans, Sonic 1. Oh, I have a loaded save on here. So let's see where I am. Oh. I thought it was going to be more exciting than that. Apparently not. I seem to recall never actually finishing Sonic 1 on this, but I messed about with cheats a lot. I think I finished Final Zone by cheating, but I never actually got all the way there on Classic Collection. I seem to recall similar with Sonic 2. This was always my go-to version to mess with the games, because, you know, handheld, nice and easy to access. A lot of the time, like, I try and play the games properly when I was playing them on the big TV or whatever, because, you know, you don't get loads of time when it's the family TV, so you want to actually spend some good quality time in your games or whatever, whereas when I was messing with this, like in my room or whatever, you get loads of time to just mess about with random cheat codes that you've read off the internet or whatever, so there's always a good time on Classic Collection. Sonic 1, Sonic and Knuckles, and Knuckles and Sonic 2 are the only games you could use cheats in. I thought you could in Sonic 3 somehow, but I don't remember how. Let's see, something to do with the rights. Let's see, something to do with the rights. Now, Sega re-released the game on Steam in 2010. More and more info was getting released. Then around 2013, people were noticing the Capzone song, which had new ownership in 2008-2009. Jamie also said something else that I completely forgot to read. Let's see, this connection is running on a reworked version of Genesis DS, which is an actual Mega Drive emulator for the DS. Sega hired the person behind it for the collection. I don't think I've ever messed with Genesis DS, but I've always meant to, because the Genesis emulator is in with the J, the non-DS version was used for a long time. I think they only just recently stopped using that on collections. Certainly the Mega Drive classics on Switch, PS4, Xbox, and Steam used that emulator. And it sucks. It's not a good emulator. The DS version is obviously very impressive, but as an actual like PC emulator, it's not good. Never finding a great way to unlock the Master System games in this. I knew that was never real, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have been crying in my sleep, I guess. There's loads of stuff wrong with the foreground. The parallax is really broken if you like look at it for too long. As you can see, there's loads of flashing and stuff like that. So this game barely works in DSi mode, as we've learned, although I get the feeling that might just be a problem with this emulator full stop. Yeah, there's loads of flashing if you sometimes pay attention to it. I want to see just how bad the boss fight slowdown is, so let's get there. If I can. I thought I was going to die there, because I always die there anyway, let alone when I'm playing a really laggy version of the game. I've not actually hit enough rings to get a special stage, so that would have been nice. Alas, it wasn't meant to be. Also, loads of the noise channel is going ham. Like, the one that produces the... Oh yeah, this is a glitch on this version. Let me see if I can do this. Wait, what? That was meant to put me inside the monitor, I was pretty sure, on this version. Because there's like a load of random issues relating to sprite scaling and things like that. Like, as you can see, Sonic is just very flat to fit in the DS resolution. Like, they just kind of squished him downwards with a Photoshop tool, it feels like. Everything else is as well, but Sonic's so iconic compared to, like, the Spring or whatever, that it's a bit more noticeable. Because you see this model all over the place all over the time, so you kind of know how the sprite's meant to look. It's perfectly cromulent as a kid. I had the iPod Touch version. Oh, sorry, no. I had the iPod Touch version of this game. I had the iPod Clickwheel version of this game. This was a perfectly serviceable version of Sonic 1 when I was younger. I've never found a way to get that Clickwheel version working again. That was on an iPod Nano too, so even more cromulent than this. This was perfectly competent of versions of Sonic 1 I played when I was younger, so I'm perfectly fine with this. Yeah, that's a really good episode for sure. Wasn't it like a series of episodes as well? I'd recommend checking those out. I had Sonic 1 on the Time Bomb. We actually have an iPod Nano here that I'm pretty sure... Did we ever get around to chucking it? It was a Time Bomb. It had already gone. The spicy pillow did what it did best and pushed the screen out. Oh, nice unloading of assets there. Anyway, you kind of get the point. I forgot I have a circle pad on this system. That's that. Honestly, not much else worth showing you on this collection. It's very bare bones for what it is. Bearing in mind, half the trick was getting this to run on the DS in the first place. You get some credits. I don't even know how interesting they are. The creative assembly, by the way, I wanted to point out there. Yeah, this is like one of the few non-strategy things that Creative Assembly have worked on. I'm pretty sure a lot of the team is shared from most Creative Assembly games as well from the time. I don't know why they were brought on to do this instead of anyone else. It shows, I guess. It's not their wheelhouse. On the credits, the only remaining evidence is Spinball and 3D Blast. Is that a thing? I didn't actually know that was a thing. So what, they were meant to be in this game originally? Interesting. I had no idea. Yeah, I like the presentation of this collection a lot. For all its problems, I think it's a cute little package. It's not a great way to play these games in the modern day, but it's still a bit of fun for what it is. Oh no, I had no idea. That's brand new to me. Right. That's Sonic Classic Collection. Anything else I can randomly mess with in the meantime? Like I said, Sonic Rush, all-time classics. I mean, I got Tetris DS here. Tetris DS is a fun backup option for anything else, I guess. Some sprites are in the credits as well. I wasn't sitting through all those credits. I already know that we've got Sega Europe. We would have gone through Sega Benelux and all that sort of stuff, and then America, of course. Right, I am digging in my box. Not finding the thing that I'm actually looking for. Where are you? There's so much stuff in this bag. That's probably half the issue, and I can't actually look down at it to do this. Give us eye training? I actually don't have eye training on me, otherwise that would be a tiny bit funny. I do know where brain training is though, but I'm not subjecting myself to that on stream. I'm not getting pointed and laughed at. Here we go. Here's my second DS card case. Let's see what's in here. This is more stuff I actively play. We have Pokemon Y, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Kirby Planet Robobot, Pokemon Black, Kirby Triple Deluxe, Mario Sonic London, the actual cartridge this time, the Wall of Skylanders. We have Giants, Trap Team, Swap Force, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, Sonic Lost World 3DS, before you say no, Pokemon Moon, Kirby Superstar Ultra. Completely forgot I even owned this. A second copy of Super Mario Land. The one in the other case was a cart-only one, I guess. Pokemon Moon, Sonic Transformed, Sega 3D Classics. I did actually have it. I lied. We'll do that. Super Monkey Ball 3D. I've done that on stream before. Mario Kart DS. Fun game, but not today. Detective Pikachu and Mario Kart 7. Didn't the study reveal playing those games makes you age more? America flat out banned games like Brain Training to the point where the Switch one never even came out there because they said, yeah, it was worse for you. Now, this is America, so we have to take it with a pinch of salt, of course, because nowhere else found that to be the case, but I think there have generally been studies that say that sort of thing, yeah. There's my Rayman 3D. I actually don't own Rayman 3D, otherwise I'd consider doing it on the stream one day. Right, so I now have to set another mode on my capture window here. There we go, back to 3DS. I've done 3D Classics on the stream before, as you've possibly seen by it being on the activity log. So this isn't anything too new for me. We did this when I did Super Monkey Ball 3D, actually, since I mentioned that earlier. I would like to do the other two 3D Classics games at some point. They're so expensive, so I will probably have to rely on other methods to play them, but I've always wanted to own them, so if I ever see a good deal on them one day, I might end up yoinking them and checking them out on stream. Rayman 2 DS is apparently a significantly more competent version than Rayman 3D, which shocks me, but 3D is apparently good if you overclock the system by using new 3DS mode. This intro is great. So yeah, this is 3D Classics Collection. This is technically Fukoku Archives 2 in Japan. There was one before this that they didn't release here, and one after this. The files for the Japanese one, Sega 3D Fukoku Archives 3, if you put it into an English DS with Homebrew, because there's region locking otherwise, if you do that, it actually shows it was Sega 3D Classics 2. So we could have got it and we didn't. Very cool. And yeah, Argos Exclusive King. I don't know why it was an Argos exclusive, but it was. So we got Sonic 1 here. We also got Maze Walker and the original version of Fantasy Zone 2 over there. But we said we were going to do Sonic 1. Let's just compare how much better this version is. I think it's still a relatively cheap game, so I'd recommend tracking it down. Oh yeah, Professor Asobin's in these. Oh, it's beautiful. And true to its word, there is a 3D mode. I never have much luck with 3D modes on 3DS, but I have actually got it on here. You can't see it. It doesn't make a difference to the capture window, thankfully. Start button doesn't actually start. Whoops. How do I do that? This is going to be the demo, right? Right? Yeah, this is the demo. What's the start button? It's X. That was a weird screen glitch as I pressed start there. I left the stage select on from last time I played this. Okay. Let's go back to Green Hill 3. I never had much luck, especially with these. I mean, the new 3DS XL works well enough, but I always have issues with it as well. The original 3DS 3D, I mean, yeah, it's the reason they had to stabilize it a bit later with the cameras and stuff like that. But it's working alright so far. There's not, honestly, really much depth of the 3D effect at all. Some games did it better than others. This game is just, the HUD is slightly above the gameplay. That's all that is. And why did you do that, Larry? This is a great collection. I don't know whether it's, of the three, the best collection, but I still got a good deal of fun out of this when I bought this back when it came out, because that came out just as I got my 3DS, so perfect timing, because I was a very late adopter. I got it in 2016, because didn't quite have the means to get it at the time, so ended up with it very late. So this was a late release that did perfect by me. Like, I had a great deal of fun with this, like trying to beat Puyo Puyo 2, never actually did it. One of the games, like one of the space shooter games, I can't think what one it is off the top of my head, I really enjoyed. Obviously Sonic 1, Fantasy Zone 2, Power Drift is fantastic, by far the highlight of this collection. Annoyingly, don't think it has the DLC that you could get on the digital release. That's still technically the best way to play that. Never played it in 3D, I've only had a 2DS. Power Drift in 3D is awesome. It's so good. I'm going to boot that up in a second. Something £99, something Pokemon X. It's a good deal. I can't blame you. Kind of wish I'd got a 2DS back in the day, because I probably could have finagled it somehow with how cheap that deal was, but never actually did manage to do it, and I could have got into the ecosystem way earlier. Don't get me wrong, I did love the new 3DS XL I ended up with, but man, just having access to this system back in the day would have been so good. I've just been playing catch-up all these years on it, on games that I desperately wanted to play back then, and well, having the 3DS capture card's been a perfect excuse to revisit some of the ones I might not get to on my own time otherwise, so worked out quite nicely by me, I think. We're trying to use the 3D effects on a 2D game. You know this is why this is called 3D Classics, right? It's not just me being stupid. The whole point of 3D Classics was not just because they were on 3DS, but because they remade them to use the 3D. So that's why I checked it, but this game just doesn't have a very interesting use of it. If I go over to... I'm pretty sure Power Drift had a good use of it. I've never actually played WarioWare Gold yet, no. I've been going through them in order, so the next one I would do is Touched. And he plays, of course, solely on the background music, and we totally support that. There's only one channel playing, sounds like every other ring sound effect is missing. I think this capture card... Not capture card, sorry. The... Oh, goodness, what's it called? I think this sound card is mono only, which is annoying, because I was pretty sure I set the output on this DS to be mono. Yeah, like, this is incredible. I'm looking at this on the screen now. Like, this has a fully 3D effect on all of these effects. But this is an arcade game rebuilt rather than being an emulator. But I think even some of the emulated Mega Drive games had a good job. But yeah, like, the car pops out from the road. The road has, like, all 3D scrolling on the edges. Like, the HUD's above the car. Like, there's layers of depth to this. It's really cool. Right, well, I'm choosing courses based on music, as I was told to do. I mean, it's a classic, but you've got to do it, right? What button is it to go forward? The Y button, of course it is. Yeah, this looks nuts on even on this 3DS screen, which I've established from the picture earlier is dirty, which is meant to hinder the 3D effect a little bit. What's the shift? There it is, it's on the L trigger. Yeah, like, this game's so good. I mean, Power Drift, like, hey, a kart racer before Mario Kart. I thought that game invented this genre. Well, nope. Here's one earlier. Yeah, such a good port. Unfortunately, like I said, missing DLC, which the eShop version had, which had courses based on other Sega games like Outrun, Space Harrier, etc. The other Yu Suzuki Super Scalar games, basically. I think Fantasy Zone as well, so technically not just the Super Scalar games, but yeah, this game's so good. It's a better Sonic Drift. Oh, it is absolutely. I mean, Sonic Drift is very much a demake of this game. I'm switching it back to 2D for now, so I can actually see what I'm doing a bit better, because 2D, or sorry, the 3D goes in and out of view for me. Oh, this game's so good. Oops, I fell off by trying to get fancy with my gear shifting there.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Second lap.
I could sit here and play this for ages. What a game. I think I might have turned off hitting the cars, or is that a thing in this game anyway? I don't recall.
Third lap.
So I was pretty sure you hit cars if you ran into them, but maybe that is just a power drift thing that I've forgotten about over these years. I don't quite remember.
Final lap.
Wasn't Sonic Drift a kids gear game in Japan? Yes. It was also developed by Onyx System Works. That was everywhere. Like, that didn't change outside of Japan. I just thought it's a fun fact that people don't mention enough. Yeah, I think Sonic Drift is in a way a remake of this game. I think there's a lot of shared similarities from what I recall. I just haven't played both side by side enough to actually remember that. Was Sonic 1 a kids gear game? I actually didn't know. Power Drift's great. I could play this game forever. I really should move on to something else. Right, there we go. Oh yeah, you can choose between the international and Japanese versions as well. Right, game select. What we got? Which game was it? Was it that I got really hooked on? I don't think it was Galaxy Force, but I just remember there being a space shooter on one of these that just really gripped me. Maybe it was Galaxy Force, and I just don't remember. Oh, Ark did the Sonic 1 Game Gear port. I didn't know that until today. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it was Galaxy Force, and I just didn't know what the name of this was at the time. Maybe it might have been Power Drift Mini, and they just figured there was just more money in this. So I can use touchscreen for this as well, by the way, so let's do that. Let's just go to the classic Scene A level 1. How does the touch work here? I don't know. Do I have to enable it? Oh, I can... Okay. Whatever. No, I'm not sure. Just let me... Touchscreen does throttle... Throttle? Touchscreen does throttle, circle pad does control. So okay, so I can do it like this. So... Right. Circle pad Pro is not responding. Oh! Wait, what? I've not done anything with the Circle Pad Pro. What do you mean? Interesting. Right, can I do this now without? So yeah, this is throttle, and this is... That's cool. I mean, it doesn't work very well, but I appreciate that they chose to do this. So I'm... Okay, I get why they wanted me to do the Circle Pad Pro now for like left-handed support or whatever. This is really awkward because I'm having to use the B button and the Y button with the same hand that I'm using the stylus on, but it's pretty cool that this was an idea they had, I guess, anyway. Touchscreen just throttle like those Senran games. Be quiet. Right, so switch that background. So I have to do the throttle with... No, I don't. Okay, I can do it with buttons, thank goodness. I support the PS2 version, right? I actually don't know. Maybe? I'm not honestly too familiar with Galaxy Force. I've never really sat down and played any of them, minus, as I said, very limitedly on this collection. So, I wouldn't know for definite. Yes, the attachment. The one that they made for the original 3DS and the XL they did do one for as well. I think only in Japan for the XL, but I could be wrong. The nub on the new 3DSs does act as an emulator for the Circle Pad Pro, so any games like this would just work on it. This is an old 3DS though, sadly. I would like a new 3DS capture, but it's honestly not all that useful for the price I would have to pay for it. I'm trying to do a left turn, man. There we go. I believe I read this was an enhanced version they made for 5600 or... Okay. I mean, I know nothing about Galaxy Force 2, as you can clearly tell by this awful gameplay here. Cleared the mission though. That's good. Yeah, fun little game. What else we got? I mean, PS2 is the same no matter what platform you play it on. Altered Beast, why not? I hate Altered Beast, as many people will know, but we'll treat ourselves to this one time. I'm curious. I don't remember how this runs. Okay, it does still window itself, unfortunately. It's not as fancy as the other games. Don't press that start button. Nothing wrong with Altered Beast. There's plenty wrong with Altered Beast. This game's naff. It just sucks. Like, it's not a good game. Anyone who says it's a good game just has nostalgia for playing it on the Mega Drive if they got the Mega Drive before Sonic 1. Like, that's really all there is to Altered Beast. It's got good music, but like, it is just not fun to play. It is such a clunker. I will die on this hill, or rather, die on this grave. Like, look at this. Isn't this the epitome of fun? My slow punches versus playing literally any other game like Golden Axe or Streets of Rage or anything similar. Friend did both loops on stream, and your friend's a masochist. See, look, I power up and I become a wolf. Like, that doesn't distract from the fact that this game is just dull. It's partially out of a place of love. It's not, but it's just a running joke at this point that I am not a fan of this game. Nothing will change that fact. What even is the best option here? Okay, just wait it out, apparently. I can't kick the ball. That is a shame. Is that a ball? I don't quite know what it is. The nondescript animal. I like the screaming sound though. The screaming sound's been one of the best bits of this game for a while, along with this song here. That's about it. I don't know. This game's just never done it for me, and of course because it's a classic, because it was the Mega Drive game everyone had or whatever. Like, it appears on every single collection. When I think there's way cooler games that never get the same spotlight it does. I didn't even know you could do that. It's a Cerberus. That would make a lot of sense. I had a Mega Drive 2, and therefore you had way better games than this. What's your excuse? Oh, the X button's just pause, okay. If it's so good, why wasn't it in Mega Games? Checkmate, atheists. Fine. Oh. So sad. Too bad, so sad. Actually playing off the capture window again instead of looking at the 3DS, and it's proving a bit more successful of a strategy. Well, guess what? Guess what, Jamie? I am fully powered up. Yeah, I bet you didn't think that would be happening anytime soon with the state of this gameplay, did you? Don't worry, I'm not going to make it to the boss. You always play the GBA game if you don't like this. There's like 7 billion crap Altered Beast games I could play that are worse than this one. The existence of worse does not make the bad not bad, or something like that. I think that's the official quote, right? The state of this game or your gameplay, both. Funnily enough, I don't play this game that often, so I can't claim to be an expert at it.
Welcome to your doom.
Ah. Oh well, that was a good run. Altered Beast. State of the game. I've never actually... So what does this do? This just... Oh, it just takes me to the title screen, okay. I've never messed with the unremade version of Fantasy Zone 2 on here. Yeah, I mean, I can play PS2. There's so many versions of that I can play. Radar off or on? Okay. FM sound unit, get that shit off. As it should be. Okay, this might be the one instance I regret it. So what does the radar do? Oh, right. I'm instantly getting absolutely mullered by some of these enemies. I can feel it. Okay, I made it through there. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty standard Master System conversion. What does the 3D do? Nothing. I don't know why I'm surprised. See, that's an instance where I can be surprised about that. Should have gone with FM? Nope. Look, we'll give you this one, okay? How do I... There we go. We'll give you it this one time. But that's it. Oh, not doing it for me. Okay, this song's just not great with either version, to be honest. That's better on PSG, though. My words on that one. That's that. What about the remade version? Because I still don't think I played this that much either, to be honest. Maybe once or twice. Don't see the issue with FM. It's fine. I just way prefer PSG. People go, yeah, but it's technically superior all the time. It's like, yeah, it's a better spec sheet, but it doesn't always mean it produces a better song to me, you know? Alright. I've apparently only made it to the second round. That's a good sign. So, what are my options here? Endless. What does Endless do? Well, it just lets me keep playing the game, I'm guessing? That's not what I wanted to do. Settings. What we got here? Number of lives. Difficulty's already down. That doesn't strike me as good. I have to buy the rest of the settings. Okay. Oh, I can actually just have a, what you call it? Have a sound test. There we go. I honestly just don't remember half the music from Fantasy Zone 2 as much as I do the first one. This is the only one I remember. Truth be told. You had to buy the settings. With in-game currency, yes. Link. Endless Love Link Loop Land, such a good song. It's the only one I remember. I don't know why. I've just never checked out the rest of the soundtrack. Shoots on Y. Yeah, there we go. Much better sounding when it's in the right sound format. I should make a Fantasy Zone roguelite. Wait, hang on a minute. Now that you mention it, this game does look... No one mentioned it. This does look a lot like that Sonic Superstars boss fight. They made it into a real game. No way. What do I normally go with? I normally go with... laser beam's a classic. Wide beam, of course. Gotta be. Big wings are pretty useful, especially for the price. I can flat out buy an extra ship. That's probably useful. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, this is so much better. I forgot he carries the little weapons in this game. M2 really went above and beyond with this port. I mean, we all know M2 are like our strongest soldiers in the emulation scene, but it's great. I also believe this still runs on real hardware. Warp to the dark side. Ooh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it runs on a beefed up version of the System 16, so as long as you can beef up your System 16 board, then I'm pretty sure this actually runs. Unsurprisingly, not in widescreen. This is probably like a... what's the word? Like an emulation with patches applied. Like the original PS2 version, I've seen on main machines all the time. People have just converted it back to a normal ROM. Yeah. I mean, M2 are just geniuses. We all know that at this point, right? I didn't really used to come in here, but they do some great work for sure. So I love how Superstars level had everyone in the Ecomobile from their debut game, double reference. Superstars was full of fun things like that. It's just a shame the game itself was lacking in some areas. And as we all know, it was a failure internally, so they're not going to be trying to do that again, unfortunately. Developed for the System 16, which the board became the 16C, which was then ported and emulated for Sega Ages 2500. I mean, I assume the Sega Ages 2500 version is a bit more of a faithful version, because, like I said, we've got the whole, widescreen and slow down removed thing, but never actually checked out the Sega Ages 2500 version, so I'd be curious as to how much more faithful that is, presumably. Because, yeah, 3D Classics generally went for playability and modern enhancements over faithfulness, which is something Sega ages. But the Switch kind of actually undid for the most part, like slowdown and things like that were preserved and instead made into an option that you could mess with as much as you pleased. Whereas this is just kind of like, nah, the slowdown's off by default. Yeah, I definitely like to play the 16C version at some point by the same logic as well. So I'm sure there's no way the sprite scaling is like as smooth as this on real hardware, right? Like this feels way too smooth for even like an enhanced version of System 16. But that was very close. Actually, what I want him to be shooting at, it's his nose, right? Yeah. This is M2 I'm talking about. It is indeed. We all know what they're capable of. Oh, that was kind of tricksy of him. I get one just for dying. That's nice. I mean, I kind of like gun parts, but whatever. Yeah, they did improve the hardware board, but like this much? Oops. Nearly went straight into the leaves. Would like to see this through. Oh my goodness, I just suddenly lost all speed. Oh, because I don't have my big wing anymore. Right, that would be why. That was why the parts shop came back up, because I could have bought myself another big wing. Right, that's why I'm moving horrendously slow through this all of a sudden. That's not going to make it. I shouldn't have committed to that. I really would like to get through this. Right, let's actually buy it this time. How much have I got? I've got enough for it. Yeah, let's see where we go right now. Okay. There we go, right. I did it again. Should have a better time of it this time. Wow, it's that close? I'm kind of surprised people are going for Twilight Princess before Wind Waker. That was really stupid. Wait, that wasn't a death? How come the game let me continue though? One sec. There's no way I can read that mid-boss fight. Don't commit to that. Yep, good job. This is so much harder than the boss of the first game. I'm guessing this was, you know, advertisers like, hey, a thing for fans of the first game, or whatever. And yeah, Nintendo won't be happy, but they can't do anything about it. It's why none of the other recompilations have ever had issues. Right. I think that's going to be me done with that for now. So Jamie says, this is from Sega Retro. M2 adhered to the restrictions of the 16B board when developing this version of Fantasy Zone 2, meaning the game was officially be able to officially be released in Japanese arcades. Didn't know that. Gone to the manual, the developers claim it as running on System 16C hardware as it uses a RAM upgrade while still using the System 16B specs. There we go. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it there, so let's get ourselves back to the main menu at least. So we can have some nice background music while we go. It's a bit more like the stream time I was expecting when I booted this up. Thanks, Sonic Boom. Come on, no more load times, get me back in. There we go. Nice little jingle to bring us in. If it will do it. Anyways, but yeah, that'll be it for today's stream. Thanks for watching if you have been. I should be back next Monday. I'm happy to reveal, I kept saying I was gonna, first of all, as the version, and this version all came from one of the people on the team who wished this was an arcade release when he was a kid and wasn't happy with the Master System version. Sometimes just people with dreams are what you gotta do. What? That made no sense. You just gotta let them do what they want to do. Like, you had that guy who did the huge emulation job for the Yakuza games recently with Infinite Wealth and, well, technically Gaiden, Infinite Wealth, and Pirate Yakuza. That was just a passion project he did outside of work time to get like Daytona 2 and things working, and Spike Out and stuff like that. That's all in there because of that, and he got a Game Industry Award for it because of the cool work. I actually can't remember his name off the top of my head, but sometimes just like people just have passion like that. Hire those people. They always do great work, you know? This is one such example of that. No worries as well, Gum. Hope to see you later in the week too. Looking forward to it. But yeah, as for everyone else, I shall catch you on Friday for Pick and Mix, where I'll be talking about both the Sonic Boom games we played recently. And I'll see you on stream next Monday, because I've said previously, last year I was going to do it, and then I never got around to it for various reasons that I'm sure we'll talk about next week. Not anything bad, mainly just like random technical issues and things. This year we're actually going to do it, so see you on Monday, December 1st, for the beginning of the Yakuza playthrough. As in Yakuza 1. As in, not Kiwami 1, Yakuza 1 for the PS2, and yes, it will be the incredible dub. So, catch you then for that one. Thanks for watching the Sonic Boom streams. Appreciate everyone who stuck around through them, even if they weren't the most interesting of games here and there, but certainly enjoyed my time with Fire and Ice way more, so that's something to be happy about. Yeah, back to peak next week, don't you worry. So, Yakuza 1 to come for the Christmas season. I have to do sub-stories too. I don't know about that one. We'll see how we're getting on, because it's going to be the December playthrough, because of, you know, Yakuza 1 original is a very Christmassy game, so we got to do it, right? Kind of removed it a little bit from Kiwami, but certainly the first game got a very big feel to it, so I'm going to be enjoying that throughout the Christmas month. So catch you all next week for that, but until then, either see you on Pick and Mix or catch you around. !Discord I will plug real quick. Those of you not in it, we do some bits every now and then outside of showtime. The bot's not here. That's really great to have figured out now. I think it's below the stream if you want to check it out. On the cards below it should say the Discord link. If not, it's thegreenviper8.lol/Discord, I'm pretty sure. So, oh, Kit just started Yakuza, we're loving it. Very nice. Which one did you start with? I'm really annoyed the bot's down. Let me grab the link real quick so that I can at least put it in the chat before we go. They never make this easy, do they? Especially with streamer mode on, because they don't want you to accidentally leak the invite. But that's exactly what I want to do. I want people to join. Can you let me copy it instead of being 3 dots, please? That'd be really nice. Links have been truncated, or just completely removed, but, you know, it's whatever, right? There we go, so chuck that in here, https://discord, if I spelled that right, I did, .gg/, there you go. That's how people can join the server if you want to join it, get future stream updates, as well as hanging out sometimes outside of stream time. I'll be about it for me. Talk to you all in a bit. Thanks for dropping by, and see you soon. Have a good rest of your evening.